welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing Florida State's schedule prediction. I did this last time. I think it's still the most viewed video on my channel. I think it was like 270, 260, something like that views. So we're going to do Florida State again and probably make a lot of Nole fans mad again, because be honest with you, I think I'm very good at doing that. And yeah, let's get right into it, because I'm gonna breeze past their schedule because it's actually a very interesting kind of schedule. So starting off at home, they play Alabama, a very, very big home opener for them, which I think they're gonna lose. They're not beating Alabama. I don't care who they brought in. At the end of the day, it's still Alabama. This is the same Alabama that still gets the best recruits in the country. They still have Ryan Williams. You have Ty Simpson, who's going to be starting. He's not a bad quarterback. Defense is still going to be on par. Like, I don't see them losing to Florida State. And then it's one of those games where I feel like Florida State is going to be, you kind of learn who Florida State is going to be. Not like throughout the season, but I feel like you get a good glimpse of what we're going to probably see throughout their season. But I do have them to lose to Alabama. And they have their next two games are really easy, because they got to play East Texas A&M. That's an easy win. So they'll be 1-1. Then they got to play Kent State. That's another easy win. They'll be 2-1. Then they have Virginia. They go on the road to play Virginia. They could beat Virginia. I think they'll go on the road, beat Virginia. I know Virginia is very interesting, because they're a very back and forth team every year. Usually they're trash, but they make a bowl game from every now and then. I do think Virginia does make a bowl game this season, because they're getting a little bit better. They're getting a little bit better. But I don't think they're going to beat Florida State. Do I think Florida State's going to end up being ranked throughout this season? Probably not. I think they're top. They're ranked. I forgot where they ranked them in that top, in the preseason rankings. They actually did get a vote to be ranked. I think they got like 3 or 4 votes, or 2 votes or something like that to actually get ranked. That was funny. But they'll beat Virginia, and they'll be 3-1. And then coming back home, because they go on the road to play Virginia that game. So they come back home to play UM. They'll lose to UM. I think next year they'll beat UM, but these last couple of, or really, I'm not gonna say last, but these next couple of games between UM and Florida State are gonna go back and forth. And right now, I feel like UM has a huge advantage over Florida State, because right now UM is getting the better players. They're building their program back up. I don't see UM going back to I'm trying to think how to say it. I don't see them. They've never been a bad program, but I don't see them going below Florida State anytime soon. Because right now, to give my honest opinion on the top teams between UM, Florida, and Florida State, it's UM, Florida, and then Florida State. I think soon, in the next season, is going to be Florida, UM, Florida State. Florida State is going to remain at the bottom of that for a while, so get used to that, Florida State fans, because y'all are going to be bowl game eating for the next couple of years. So get used to them bowl games. And I'm not talking about any playoff bowl games either. So they're going to lose to UM. I think Carson Beck going to come in there and tear their defense apart probably. He going to have a good game of it. Carson Beck going to have one of them games against somebody on their schedule, because UM actually has a tough schedule. I'll do theirs. I'll probably record it today and upload it Monday, because today's Friday. So UM, they going to tear somebody up. Carson Beck going to have one of them games. For as much as Carson Beck's like a back and forth quarterback, give it what it was when he was at Georgia, he gonna have one of them games. He did it at Georgia where he was actually connecting. Like, he gonna have that back and forth game. I think this is gonna be that game, because Carson Beck, he understands the moment. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But I'll talk more about with him when I do the UM. But back to Florida State, I don't see because your quarterback Tommy Colostos probably didn't say that right at all, but I don't know how much between him and Carson Beck, how much, like, if you had to compare, who do you think would understand the moment better? I would go with Carson Beck. He played in the SEC. He's played it in countless rivalries games with Georgia Tech. You have the Florida rivalry. He played against Alabama. I feel like he understands the moment more. Granted, this is gonna be at Florida State, but I think does go on the road here and win. Because, like I said, I feel like understands the moment at, like, in this particular game, on that particular day, October 4th. I feel like in that from the start of the game to the end of the game, is going to be locked in. I don't know why. I've been kind of rocking with the U lately. Do I think they're going to repeat what they did when they had with Cam Ward? I don't think so. Do I think they make the ACC championship game? Yes, I do. Does Florida State make the ACC championship game? No, they do not. So I had them losing to and it's really going to be a quarterback battle. I really think that's what whoever offense could just kind of get going early and fast first. But like I said, I got to win, which will move Florida State to 3-2. Then they stay home to play Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be I think this will be a shocker, and I think Pittsburgh ends up getting one against Florida State. Pitt is a team you have to take serious, because when they want to play, Pitt can play. I don't care what nobody say. When Pitt was on that run last season, they were ranked, and they had a legitimate chance of making the ACC championship game and winning it, where they had me convinced because of how physical their defense was and how they were playing. They had me convinced that I thought, hey, they finna go to the ACC championship game. But you saw they slowly collapsed later on to the season. I think they had lost to Clemson or SMU. One of them beat them, and that's where the collapse started. And it kind of just went down from there. So I do think Pitt will take this one from Florida State. I think Florida State's going to be so back and forth this year. Like, they're not going to be like just out the gate. They're finna shock the world and make the playoffs. Like, I feel like they're not going to do that. Yes, of course y'all going to see it as they're going to say the end of predictions. I do have them ending with a winning record, so they going to bounce back from what happened last year. That's really your main goal if you're coaching Norvell. You just want to kind of get some momentum of what happened last season. Like, you're going to kind of put that behind you, and going forward, like, you got to get to a winning record. You can't go below that. So they'll go to 3-3, and then they got to go on the road to play Stanford. That's going to be a 10:30 game. Oh my gosh, I got to stay up late for that one. Oh man. Okay, let's be honest. Other than Florida State fans, who's really staying up at 10:30 to watch Florida State play Stanford? Especially if Florida State's not ranked. I don't know if I'm staying up for that one. I'm gonna stay up for that one because not a Florida fan. I'm a football fan, so I love watching football. So I gotta watch Florida State, a football program I already don't like. Then I gotta watch Stanford play football. You couldn't pay me to watch Stanford play football. Between last year and the year before that, you couldn't pay me to watch them play football. Oh my gosh. Florida State should beat them though. It's no way you lose to Stanford. If you lose to Stanford, like, you need to reconsider yourself as a program. So I do think they'll move to 4-3 after they beat Stanford. When they come back to play Wake Forest, you should blow Wake Forest out the park. Wake Forest has not been the same same like football program that we've seen out of them. They haven't been good since Sam Hartman was there, and that was 2 years ago. No? Was it 3? It'll be 3. Yeah, it'll be 3. Yeah, they haven't been good since him. So, yeah, there's no way Wake Forest it should be like 24-0 at the half. Florida State should lead. So, I don't see Wake Forest competing with Florida State in that game. I do think that game will be a blowout. If Florida State somehow loses to Wake Forest at home too, because this game's going to be at Florida State. So if Wake beats Florida State at home, I think everybody should really consider being a Florida. Everybody who's a Florida State fan should really reconsider. Like between Stanford and Wake, if you lose those games, you need to really reconsider yourself as a Florida State fan and really question: should I keep torturing myself like this? Next, you're gonna be at Clemson. Oh yeah, so by the way, after you beat Wake, you move to 5-3. So you'll be at Clemson. I'm finna let you know right now. This is gonna be one of those games where I think it's going to be close until like the last 7 minutes of the game. It's gonna be close because I'm gonna give Florida State has the talent and they have the coaches. They have it all right now they can shock some people on the schedule. Like all the games I said they lose, if they win them, then it's like, okay, they won. Like if they beat somehow, it's not gonna surprise me. If they beat Clemson, it's not gonna surprise me. But I don't think they are gonna beat Clemson, so I do think Clemson is going to win this game because it's at Clemson. I think this Clemson team can legitimately shock the world and win a national championship. Like, I don't think people comprehend Dabble can turn recruits into somebody. I think that's what we're losing the plot at with him. Because he's proven that over and over again. And I was just having this discussion, too. Clemson, and Florida State are the only 3 schools who are going to be the top recruiters in the ACC. Georgia Tech is getting up there with them because Georgia Tech is starting to actually become good. But, like, other than them, Clemson's still going to get the top recruits in the country. So, Clemson's going to win this game. Like I said, I think it's going to be close. I won't be surprised if this game goes down to the wire to, like, a last field goal or even overtime or something. So, but I do think Clemson wins because I do think Clemson is going to go to the ACC championship again and win again. So, give me Clemson to beat Florida State. And Florida State will move to 5-4. Let me make sure. Hold on, real quick, chat. Yeah, 5-4. Okay. Then they got to play Virginia Tech at home. I think they're gonna lose to Virginia Tech. I think Kyron Drones is gonna come in there and tear it up. This is gonna be a good game though, cause I like Virginia Tech's team. I like their quarterback Kyron Drones. So I want Virginia Tech to win, to be honest with you, cause and that's their senior. Oh wait, hold on, cause that's their senior day game. Florida State might come out to play. Hold on though. So yeah, that's because this is gonna be their last home game. Cause their last 2 games were on the road. So still give me Virginia Tech. I think they're gonna come out there and play hard. And you know what I'm really interested to see? Because I'm thinking about it. I just want to see how Florida State defense is going to play this season. Because that will determine their season. I'm going to be so honest with you. That's going to determine their season by a lot. But I do think Virginia Tech wins. Virginia Tech got too much to throw. Virginia Tech and Florida State, really, their offense is very similar because they both have quarterbacks who run. They both have solid running backs. Florida State has the better receiving core. But they both can have an air raid type of offense, which Mike Norvell doesn't have an air raid type of offense. Neither does he have a quarterback who is a good fit for air raid offense. So, but I do think Virginia Tech wins and they move to 5-5. 5-5. Then they got to play NC State. You should be NC State. NC State they're good, but they've been on a downhill though. A lot of their players have either been going into the draft or transferring, and they've just not been looking like the same NC State we've been seeing. So I'm going to take I'm going to take Florida State over NC State. And this is on the road, so it is a night game. Good. Yeah, I'll take Florida State over NC State. NC State, I got to see how they going to pan out because they are going to be pretty good. So Florida, the last game of the season. Now we already know my prediction. Y'all ain't gotta say no or talk about it. We're going to dog walk them people. Like DJ Latwood finna have like 4 touchdowns, 100 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He finna have a Heisman game against them. Now I hope for Florida State's sake they keep the game interesting because I don't want to watch another blowout. So I really hope they keep the game interesting. So. But they're not beating us. And they got to come to Gainesville. Yeah, they're not beating us. They're not beating us. I'm sorry. And, yeah. And that's pretty much it because... So they're going to... I have them going... 7-5. I have them going 7-5, and that's bowl eligible. So they'll make a bowl game. For my prediction, I do have them going 7-5 and making a bowl game. I think I don't see them making the ACC championship just because of I don't think the defense. I feel like their offense is going to be consistent. It's really just their defense I'm like a little bit shaky on. Granted, I think they're going to have a top 3, I'll give them a top 4 defense in the ACC. And they don't have that bad of a schedule compared to a lot of other teams in the ACC. Because, like I said, I had them to start 3-1. So think about it. We're going to go over something real quick. Let's think about it. Let's say they start 3-1. Or matter of fact, let's give them the best case scenario. They start off 4-0 because let's say they beat Alabama, they'll beat East Texas, they beat Kent State, and they beat Virginia. You're 4-0, most likely ranked, going into that game at home. Best case scenario, you lose, because think about it, let's say you lose to You're 4-1. Let's say you do handle business against Pitt, you're 5-1, you beat Stanford 6-1, you beat Wake 7-1. You lose to Clemson 7-2. Let's say you beat Virginia, you're 8-2. You beat NC State, you're 9-2. You lose to Florida, you're 9-3. You end the season 9-3. That is the best case scenario for them. Worst case scenario, last season just happens all over again, which it shouldn't. It should not. You have a way better quarterback than you had with DJ. The players look like they actually might want to actually play for Florida State. So, yeah, I have Florida State going 7-5, making a bowl game. And overall, just doing better than what happened last year. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Have a very, very blessed day.